Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final quarter-round matchup in the tournament to determine the first ever Premier Tag Team Champions.
All right, forgive me if I'm not in the greatest mood to see these two.
Man, you're just salty.
Do you blame me?
No, I don't blame you, but
Representing the combination, weighing 422 pounds, Atticus, Otis Cogar.
And they have the masks draped across their necks, as always, the trophies of ending the careers and livelihoods of two young men who were never, ever the same. These men are just sick. They are sadistic. They are bloodthirsty. I mean, and this is putting it mildly. These are understatements. I don't know if these Cogar brothers even want to win these tag team championships. As I said earlier, I think they may have gotten their goal already. I don't even know.
well, we've said time and time again the culmination is old. Certainly the Cogars don't necessarily focus on wins, they focus on pain. Joe,
Yes.
I know Philly Collins, but can you give me the other guy's name again?
Yeah, his name is Marino Tenaglia.
Oh, it sounds like a drunk guy talking every time.
What do you mean?
You ever heard a drunk guy in a bar? Hey, I'm Marino tonight. That's what it sounds like to me.
It is not.
It is so. And he's got goofy hair.
I just love that we've got like a more upbeat tone out here now. The mood's a little bit better now that they've come out, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Nothing gets me more excited than these kids and their music.
How old are you?
Well, Thunder Kitty and I have gone to
Oh,
quite the sock hop.
Philly Collins and Marino Tenaglia have been feuding with the Cogar brothers throughout Ohio into Indiana for many, many months now. And this is the first time they've met 2-on-2 in Premier Championship Wrestling. We saw them as part of an 8-man tag a month ago. And while the culmination were victorious, it was Philly and Marino that got the last word, though. Keep in mind, when the Cogars were confronted by Defarge and Crumbles, it was Philly and Marino that came in from behind and drove the Cogars out of the building.
That is a good point. Obviously, this is continuing from that. Why is the Philly Marino experience wearing sunglasses indoors? They're not Corey Hart.
Oh, never mind. Well, those sunglasses Philly uses on Marino to try to tame him, because Marino has a very, let's say, wild, unpredictable side. He's a little bit schizophrenic sometimes.
You think?
And this matchup starts out very physical and aggressive thanks to the Cogars knocking those glasses off of Philly and Marino. Marino's lived a bit of a sheltered life. Can't relate to people all that well, but Philly, he'll relate to anybody, trust me. He just wants to go out there, have a party, have a good time, and Marino elevates himself. Good grief.
Joe, I thought he was going to land in the front row. Watch out, Leonard Bibbs.
Amazing hang time for Marino Tenaglia as the PMEs start things out hot. And this matchup is even more important than usual, Ben, because as a result of the previous matchup's conclusion, whoever wins this matchup, they won't have a semifinal round opponent. They got to buy straight to the finals.
Well, Joe, that's a good point. I mean, this is a huge, huge advantage to going for those Premier Tag Team Championships by winning this matchup.
It is Marino in the ring with Atticus, the leader of the Cogar clan, as Monkey Flip here, got him over. I love the energy that PME bring out here. Senton.
That was the studio senton.
A little bit of studio strut.
That is the Phil Collins fist drop.
2 and no.
I almost said Fist Collins. That's something entirely different.
Looks a bit more like Road Dogg. Hey.
Oh, you didn't know?
Atticus kicking his legs, trying to counter out of the grasp of the much larger Philly. I believe Atticus had gone to the eyes there, but Marino still comes in to connect with a high heel kick and get 2. These teams know each other better than maybe any 2 teams in this tournament. You notice Marino, his erratic behavior. He's lived a difficult life. He's had his troubles. He's had to deal with tragedy. He's had to deal with loss. But unlike the Cogars, who decide to take that out on everybody else, Marino tries to channel the success and positivity.
Well, the Cogars have channeled it as well.
Ooh, knee strike.
Maybe not into ways such as Marino Tenaglia or Philly Collins.
Well, yeah, they just want to make everybody suffer like they have. That's not exactly the same thing. The Cogars have been wrecked and broken from pretty much day one. It's Otis Cogar in the ring now.
I mean, I don't want to imagine what the Cogars' upbringing was like.
Hey, there's a lot in these men's past that we don't really understand, that I'm truthfully a little bit frightened to delve into. But whatever happened, it created a couple of monsters. And these men are just now on the warpath to make sure everybody else experiences the same misery that they have their entire lives. The Cogars have always functioned without friends, without family, without loved ones, without the basic amenities that we take for granted. That's why the Cogars love to take away what they see everybody else have. Oh, what a spine buster. The Cogars are jealous that other people can live normal lives. And these guys are hanging out in a tool shed somewhere, plotting their next sick attack.
That tool shed where they probably still have Dropkick Dave and Uppercut Ulysses for as far as we know.
So you never know what the Cogars might be hoarding. As Atticus back in, they could be hoarding tag team gold by the end of the night, as much as I hate to say that. Just look at the hate, the angst, the aggression, and everything Atticus does.
Well, you know, it's one thing to have a guy in the front face lock, you gain control, you try and slow him down a little bit.
Ooh, nowhere for Philly to go.
But it's another thing entirely just to throw those shots to the back and the back of the head, as we saw there from Atticus.
Otis with a shot to Marino.
And Joe, that's the thing you were talking about earlier. Didn't really need to go to Marino Tenaglia at that point, but he did anyway to prove a message, to prove a point.
2 count in the ring. The faster Otis goes, the more momentum he builds up. He's absolutely unstoppable. He's like a train just plowing you over. And now biting Philly. Again, this just animalistic thirst for blood and flesh.
Well, guys like the Cogars, they don't bite because they have to. They bite because they want to. And you and I both know, as a man that bites because he can, by the name of Gore, you'd have to wonder if that's a homage to him, if you will.
Well, I don't think it's an homage so much as it is maybe just something they have in common. I think, keep in mind that the flesh-looking masks the Cogars come to the ring with, those are victims from their past we don't even know about. As Philly caught the tree of woe, as Otis and Atticus both taking their turns. So the culmination has been searching for championship gold since we've introduced championship gold in this company. Who knows how that dynamic could change in this company, in that group, and everywhere in between if they achieve that goal.
And, you know, to put it bluntly, they've kind of failed at that point thus far. They have had opportunities for championship gold, but it just hasn't happened.
Atticus, 2 count. Well, now it's my turn to warn you about upsetting Gory in the culmination. Say they failed. They'll blame me, they'll blame Ace Perry, they'll blame Andrew Palace, they'll blame everybody but themselves.
Well, I'm speaking in more of a term of not obviously having the gold now, not meaning to anger Cogars or Remy or anybody.
Atticus is toying with his victim. It's not even about a victory to him at this point. It's almost like when Jeffrey Dahmer was a kid. He used to find like squirrel carcasses and dissect them just for fun, just to learn how the human body works or animal's body works. And that's what Atticus Cogar's doing to Philly Collins right now.
Well, normally I would say a Jeffrey Dahmer reference in professional wrestling is far, far off base, but I don't really think so when you're talking about the Cogars.
Oh, powerbomb! Philly Collins out of nowhere, using that mask to his advantage. Atticus is down, and you can see Marino once in the ring worse than he's wanted anything in his entire life. Marino could potentially taste a berth in the finals.
We saw the concern when Philly was in the ring there, just concerned, yearning for that tag, and he just got it.
He got it, and Big Otis is in there, but Marino leaves his feet to take down Otis. And this crowd is firmly behind the Philly-Marino experience. Crossbody nicely done. Marino's got him. 2 count only.
Got to give the kid credit. He's a ball of energy. He had a lot of time on that ring apron to get his win and wits about him.
We've seen Marino survive a lot. Last minute alternate in welterweight wrestling. We saw him get annihilated by Ron Mathis and live to tell about it. But man, the Cogars maybe on another level. Otis just barrels over Marino. That could be it. Marino may have had the wind knocked out of him. No.
And Otis used all of his weight, which obviously has the size advantage over Marino Tenaglia. And he just used all that weight to take him down. And, well, this doesn't bode well for him.
Oh, no, this could be the pitch black forecast. No, Marino counters. Again, these teams know each other. Atticus into Philly. Both their heads collide. Philly knocked down. Oh, no. The Cougars have Marino caught. God. That elevated jawbreaker. I don't know what they call it. But the Cougars just knocked Marino cold. And Philly and Marino are eliminated. And Lendl, it's not just advancing, it's advancing to the finals. And there you see, the masks never left their person. Atticus and Otis with what they consider most valuable. Could what all of us feel most valuable, the Premier Tag Team Championships, be in their future? This is the first team in the finals.
One step closer to a nightmare, not only for you, but all of Premier.
That sick look on his face. That's the eyes I saw looking at me in that ring. The eyes that just don't care. The eyes that would kill for what they believe are truly theirs.